Hey, we're live, and yeah, that's better. I got that off the screen. So, hello, and welcome to episode 27, if I've got my numbers right, of Talkin Tech, one of the weekly podcasts over at Mobile Tech Talk. I am today joined with, of course, the lovely Mark.
Hello.
No Dom this week. He was a bit busy. Well, from what he was saying, busy was understatement of the century. So you got lugged with me and Mark, and I think Kurt was supposed to be here this week, but I think he's busy as well. So you get us two again. So it's episode 27, and I called it New Moto Stuff, mainly because Motorola have been up to new tricks again, or Lenovo, whatever you want to call them. So might as well just quickly jump in. No point fanning around. And that's a reminder. 1 minute.
I'm not bothering to try and turn everything off.
I was like, that's silent. Okay, so
just so long as nobody hangouts me, that's fine. Because then everything pings.
Look, I kept the M7. I've charged it because it died on me last night, but I've not switched it back on deliberately, just because I know it's an extra thing to go off. So, Bluetooth 5.0 or Bluetooth 5. It's set to come out in June, and I'm not super technical when it comes to Bluetooth. Also, it's going to give us big speed and range improvements. Now, if anybody uses these or anything similar, Bluetooth earbuds, I know Craig did a review on these, and they are the EC. Whoops, it's because I've moved everything around. EC, you can't see it because it's too metallic-y. But they're the EC technology Bluetooth earbuds. And the big problem me and Craig both found was when you'd have them in and your phone in your pocket, it would stutter as if it was dropping connection slightly. And if you're trying to listen to music and it's stuttering, you quickly become annoyed. I don't know if it's these, probably, but
to an extent. Essentially, the way the protocol is designed is Bluetooth is designed to chop and change and duck and dive in and out of the little gaps existing in the 2.4 gigahertz wireless band, and that's fine so long as there is plenty of space for it to do so. However, if you have lots and lots and lots of Wi-Fi hotspots or routers plonked around the place, scattering crap in that band,
I think that was the problem I was coming across. I was walking up.
The Bluetooth needs space to get in there, and if there isn't
space,
it
doesn't work. No, that was my problem. I was walking up the road between the housing estate. So there's like the road or the path, and the house is like a 2 or 3 meter setback, and it's all the way up, like scattered in houses. So that was probably what was causing it. I was all right once I got to the field.
The thing is, it's possibly not routers, because everything uses 2.4 gigahertz, and the two really, really, really bad culprits are the wireless TV extender things, which you don't see much anymore, but those are really terrible. And the other things that are really shit for it is Wi-Fi or wireless baby monitors.
Yes, microwaves occasionally.
Yeah,
they're not as bad as they were. They used to be really bad for doing stuff like that, but they're not too bad anymore.
But your microwave oven, it operates on exactly the same 2.4 gigahertz band.
Which is why you should be using 5 gigahertz if your router and laptop or whatever supports 5 gigahertz.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be coming in with 2 times the range and 4 times the transfer speed.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a nice kick up the backside.
I suppose that's nice, but the nothing I've read says how they're doing that. To be honest, I personally kind of think that moving to Bluetooth 5 would have been the perfect opportunity for them to start using 5 gigahertz, because there's a lot more bandwidth available.
And then wait for the 5 gigahertz to get close to
the thing
again, and then everyone rolls back to 2.4.
Except it's probably not ever going to be cluttered to the same point, because the way that 2.4 gigahertz works Outside of Japan, there are only 3 completely clear channels that don't interfere with each other. Only 3, which is not a lot. So essentially, if you've got more than 3 Wi-Fi routers nearby, that can completely saturate the 2.4 gigahertz band, and then you're screwed. 5 gigahertz band has, I think it's 90 something.
Yeah, so you're not going to run out very quickly.
No, and plus the fact that 5 gigahertz band is more absorbed by bricks and whatnot, so it doesn't tend your neighbors won't be interfering as much with you just because the signal won't make it to you. So you're very unlikely at the moment of the conceivable future to be saturating that band, but it doesn't seem as that's what Bluetooth have done. So
Yep. So that was just something quick. I just happened to spot that. I was like, oh, that can cover it. That can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's good news for everyone. If it does what it says, they just didn't seem to say. It's just
too much. It was a
new
bit
thing.
vague.
Yeah, it's new version. It'll be better. Cause reasons.
Yep. So that's that one. These is it next 4 are all relevant. I managed to do that this time, despite rushing around like headless chicken. So Lenovo, not to be confused with Motorola with this one, but Lenovo have showed off foldable smartphone and tablet concepts. And the one that people, when you say this, are the picture that everyone sees is the phone that is wrapped around the wrist, like a smartwatch, but my God, does it look ugly because it is so damn big.
Well, the problem with all of these things is, yeah, the OLED screens you can make bendy, but everything else you can't.
Yep. So we've seen the phone watch thing, is how I'm going to refer to it, and the tablet phone thing. So if you can't tell by how I described it, the tablet phone thing is basically a tablet size device that you just fold up and there's your phone. And the the phone watch thing is basically you bend it over your wrist like a smartwatch, but you have a full-fledged phone. But why would you want a phone on your wrist? Anyone want to enlighten me? Because I don't think I could use a phone, a smartwatch phone, as a daily driver. It would just be weird.
It depends on the size of the screen. I don't know. I could see this maybe going to be used in conjunction with
a phone.
Well, not so much a phone, but I was thinking maybe sort of like a Google Glass type thing if they actually
release the damn thing.
Well, I wasn't going to say release the damn thing. I was going to say if they did what they fucking should have done in the first bloody place and just copied wholesale the design from Star Trek, where instead of trying to make it a pair of glasses, you make it a headband.
Yeah.
You know, like they if anyone remembers in DS9, you know, they had a headband, so it was, you know, much larger, did a lot more space for electronics, damn sight more space for battery, which was the real killer issue in it being a pair of glasses.
The camera wasn't too bad from what I was hearing. If anybody follows Casey Neistat on YouTube, I can't remember which vlog it was, but I know if you just search on his channel Google Glass, he did actually shoot an entire vlog with pretty much just the Google Glass as a camera and a mirror. And he was impressed by it because he liked the fact he always had a camera to hand.
Yeah.
But he hated the battery.
Yeah, that was the thing people said about it. I remember, what's his name? The crazy tall bloke that used to be on Buzz Out Loud and other Twit shows. Jason Howell?
Probably.
I think so. I think he once said that when he had one he was playing around with, he found that it was great for something his daughter was doing at school. you know, sort of like, you know, some sort of kiddie event, and instead of standing there, you know, with your, you know, your phone up, so, you know, watching, you know, and watching everything through that, he could stand there, you know, watch and have it, you know, recording and taking pictures, and you know, he's actually looking at his daughter.
He's not sitting there like this, looking through it,
not watching at a phone that screen. So
yeah, I remember there was some artist that performed here in the UK that turned around and said, I'd appreciate it if you don't take photos whilst I'm performing, because why look for a phone screen when you're actually here?
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's concept, so there's no dates, pricing, but I imagine it's something people to keep a close eye on.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, what, you know, I'll be more interested when this actually becomes a retail product, when I can walk into John Lewis and see this.
You have a thing with John Lewis.
Well, John Lewis is the only place that is fairly reasonable, and it has a kind of techie stuff, but it's still mainstream.
Yep. So,
you know, like your mum knows what John Lewis is.
I know what John Lewis is.
Into a John Lewis. You know, if you can make it into a John Lewis, then you've hit mainstream. That's why I use it as that kind of benchmark, because
I just thought you had a thing for John Lewis. That's all.
No. I kind of view it just as the, you know, once you get into John Lewis, then you've hit mainstream. Your mum knows what John Lewis is. You know, your granny knows what John Lewis is. It's a sort of shop normal people wander around and will look at stuff, and you know, it's not some crazy tech. You know, it's like if Clove or Expanses has something, yeah, normal people don't know what the hell those places are.
No. So whilst we're on the Lenovo Motorola subject, we're going to move into the Motorola stuff. So first, I'll get the elephant out of the room. So obviously Google I/O was a couple of weeks back. It must have been something like that by now. And one of the things they showed off was Android Wear 2.0 with all these new fancy features. Just look it up. I can't remember everything. But I know it was supposed to be coming to the vast amount of the current smartwatches on the market, and obviously all the new ones. The original first gen Motorola, there. You can just tell it's been one of them days. Motorola 360 is not going to receive Android Wear 2.0.
Yeah, which,
from what I'm understanding, it's people have been saying that it's
a nice thing. But,
I like it. I want one, but I just couldn't justify the price tag compared to the Smartwatch 3, which I have taken off because I have a spot on my wrist that I accidentally pulled off. And as you're walking around, you can just feel the back plate just sitting against it, and it just did my head. So I was like, nope, just take that. I'll put it in the bag.
Yeah, well, having the two, I can say, you know, the Moto 360 is so much prettier, but is, yeah, the smartwatch.
It's old. It's old as well.
Well, I was speaking. In any way, it's like the age of the device, I think, is kind of meaningless. Same with the CPU, because you know what I basically use this for, or any of the smartwatches for.
Looking at the time.
Not as much as you might think, but I do.
You don't play games on them, do you?
Oh God, no. No, mostly what I do is when it vibrates and I hear a ping, it means that some sort of message has come through somewhere, and I can just go, look at my wrist.
And go, oh, it's only Chris, swipe
and
away.
Go, oh, right, it's just Slack, and I can ignore it.
Bye.
Or, yeah, that's...
You have won £1 million. You get an email. You've won £1 million. Bye.
Yeah. It's, you know, the first line of an email, the first line of a text message. It's the, do I need to actually go and do something?
Yeah. So obviously it's not going to get it. I don't know about any other devices. From what I see, the situation, there could be a few older generations of devices, but so what? I kind of actually getting bored of the smartwatch now. It seems now it's becoming a chore.
Well, I think it's just the things that you use it for. They're not complicated. They're not grand. It's a nice, simple little notification.
Yeah, that's what I like it for, and I've probably mentioned this numerous times, but I work as a forecourt cleaner, and whilst I could probably wear the smartwatch to work, I wouldn't want to because I am cleaning toilets and pumps and basically cleaning anything outside in the toilets. So to have a watch on would be an extra thing to get in the bloody way. So I will tend to wear mine on a Monday and Tuesday when I'm at college, or if I go racing in the evening or on a Sunday. But at times it does feel like a chore to plug it in. I think for the past week, I think it's been sat on the desk slowly dying, which was a good thing because it was getting about a week. It was getting about 3 days on battery just because I wasn't touching it. But it seems to be a bit of a chore, and I can't be doing with that.
Yeah, of all the things that I want to see them doing in making improvements to the Android Wear experiences, I want the batteries to last longer.
I suppose if I had something like the Moto 360 or the G-Watch R that has Qi charging, it probably would be less of a chore.
No.
Because I could just set it aside.
No. It's no less of a chore. It's still a chore to take the damn thing off.
Yeah, but you're not fiddling around trying to get a micro USB cable in the back.
No, but then you've got to arse around with the strap. I mean, I know it's not like it's a big deal, but it's the fact that you've got to basically be taking off at least, every couple of days. It's.
I charge overnight, so it's not so much of an issue for me.
But yeah, it's still the fact that you've got to kind of remember and do it. It's not like a normal watch. I mean, I remember my old Sony MBW 100, and that, I think I could basically get like most of a week out of it. I mean, it was a watch that had a rotary dial for the time, and it had a tiny little OLED monochromatic display for text messages, phone call notifications, for email notifications and whatnot. And it was great. And it was completely as useful as Android Wear is.
Yep, so might as well move on from that. Stick with the Motorola theme. Obviously, at the end of last week, midweek, obviously Motorola did their thing and releases a bunch of devices. I'm not sure. When did the Moto G series come out? That wasn't last week. It was a bit before, wasn't it? I've got a feeling. I thought it was.
I should probably know, but to be honest, I kind of looked at them and just thought, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no. So I don't know if this has been covered, these two. So I won't go into much detail with them. Obviously, Moto G, Moto G4, Moto G4 Plus. No, wrong. Sorry. Moto G4 and Moto G4 Plus. Now I've added these in thinking that they were new. I don't think they are. If they are not new, oh well, waste of time. But obviously, was going to go in spec, but I'm fairly sure they don't, so I'm not going to. It seems I got a bit confused. So one thing I do know that came out of the event is the Motorola Z Droid series. Basically like your X lineup, but just a bit different. So we had the Moto Z Droid Edition and the Moto Z Force Droid Edition. Just looking at specs, Android Marshmallow, Snapdragon 820, 5.5-inch Quad HD display, 4 gigs of RAM, the usual 3264 gig storage options, micro SD up to 2 terabyte. Who wants a 2 terabyte micro SD card?
Everyone? No,
not really. Well, yeah, I suppose. It gets a bit different.
They don't exist yet, but yeah.
There's support for it. So the Droid Edition has a 13 megapixel camera, where the other version has the 21 megapixel camera. Both have 5 megapixels for its firing speakers. USB-C. I keep getting confused with the names now. I hate Motorola for this. So the Droid Edition has a water repellent coating. Oh, they both have water repellent coating. So this is a bit where it gets interesting. The Moto Z Droid Edition has a 2,600 milliamp hour battery, which has they both have turbocharging, and the Droid Z Force, whatever, the toughened edition has a 3,500 milliamp hour battery. I'm not going to go into colours. Both have support for Moto mods, which is something we're going to get to in a minute. And they weigh, well, the cheapest one weighs 136 and 163. So they're not hefty, but they seem all right. The Force is the edition that's known for having the non-breakable display where you can just toss it on concrete and it doesn't smash, and has that beefier battery. But more phones. I know Dom doesn't like it. He's not a fan of them. He's expressed that once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of Lenovo and with the Motorola, they're now beginning to suffer the disease from the Far East of why have one product when you can have 50 that are almost the
and
same.
that pisses me off because it means I get confused.
Yep, you and every other phone reviewer person. I mean, if we can't keep straight which bloody version is what, and what the difference between them is, and what the specs are, and because they change random stupid things for no reason.
Like S7 Edge, not S7. The S7 and the S7 Active. That's a thing.
Yeah,
obviously it's more ruggedized, and it's like they've done what they've done. Basically, they did what they did with the S6. Was this to the consumer? All they're going to want to do is to go, oh, the the active version has a bigger battery, therefore I'm going to buy that.
Yeah, I mean, they've
done it again, basically.
Yeah, they need to stop making 50 versions with confusing names. I don't understand why they're doing this.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Now, on the Z subject, obviously the Z series has no 3.5mm headphone jack.
Yeah.
I'm not really too fussed. Okay, it means I just can't plug a normal set in, but I'm not surprised by it considering there was rumours of the iPhone 7 not having.
Yeah. Well, this I do kind of find really bizarre, because as I haven't particularly looked into it because it's Motorola, but they haven't seemed to particularly have suggested anything as a replacement. Now, personally, I do not use headsets with my phone.
No, I don't. Well, I use the earphones for when I'm in college, but I don't use stock sets because they just sound crap.
Oh yeah,
and don't fit very well.
Well, yeah, but I mean that you're still using something, whereas I don't use phones for audio. I mean, I just don't, unless I'm reviewing them, and I will force myself to. So I'm not really sure exactly what Motorola are thinking, because I mean, as far as I would have thought, a lot of people who are buying Moto G type level phones.
The G series has the headphone ports.
Yeah, well, but still that's sort of because the Moto Z is similar. It's a mid-range phone. It's not high-end. I would have presumed the people who they are expecting to buy this thing probably want to plug in a pair of headphones.
They may, and I don't think they will, put an adapter in.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, so I mean, what is Motorola's solution? Do they just think there's a lot of people who just don't want that?
I don't know why I don't know how they justified it, but I imagine if I know with the 6P, it came with a Type-C cable, Type-C to Type-C, and a Type-C plug in the box. That's obviously your default charger. But it did put a nice little USB-A to USB-C cable in. So I can't see why Motorola can't do the same, but with a Type-C to 3.5mm combo. When they say the 4-pole combo, not just one or the other.
Well, I suppose, but I mean, as far as I'm aware, the USB-C spec doesn't include audio.
I'm not
as anything other than data.
I'm not sure, but I will tell you that you can, and it does work, use a what's the word I'm looking for? A OTG cable, or in my case, I use a little stubby thing which I got off Amazon. I actually have 3 of these now.
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, you can use
plug.
external DACs on Android devices. Not all, but a lot of them. Yes, you can do that, and that's absolutely fine. I, in fact, have. If I can find, they're on the desk somewhere, a pair of Zorlo phones. It is the Zorlos, but not the ones that Dom also has a copy of. It's other ones. Oh, gosh, right, here we go.
So if anybody's wondering why it's taking Mark so long to
yeah, oh yeah, my desk. Okay, so these ones. So these are version 2 of the not yet available to people to actually buy, and what it does is, if you can see, it has micro USB cable, and in the cable there is this chunky volume control, and essentially in that there's a little DAC and a little amp, and that's essentially provides much better audio than your phone is likely to be producing, going directly to the buds, and everything, the whole setup therefore is controlled and can be tuned to work well together. The issue though is there is no return data. So there is no microphone. Because the way USB data out works, it's not HDMI, there is no return channel.
Yeah. That's weird, because with what's that? When I did the review of the little EC technology USB sound card, which I can't show you because I'm using it, I plugged it in, obviously, so I could use the better camera on the M8 at the time. I plugged it into the M7 and was able to actually hear, and I plugged the mic in, and obviously when this was through the mic, had me, well, not that close, but you know what I mean, had it there, and then had it like away, and said had the phone here, and it was actually picking up the microphone.
Are you sure that wasn't picking up from the microphone built into the handset?
Nope, and I know it wasn't, because when I did it, I had I had the opposite one at an arm's length away, just so I could hear the loudness of it. So I'd have the mic there and away, and then the same again and away.
Well, I'm not quite sure how, because as far as I understand the spec, there is no audio return capabilities.
I'll double check it later on, but I'm fairly positive I got it to work. Oh, it must be, because you can use USB mics with Android.
But then that's using it as an input, not as an output. It's the utilizing things as both.
Yeah, I'll double check, because
yeah. I mean, I've never gone through and tried to.
I've tried it. You just had the Zorlos, zeros, what you want to call them, and they've just done out. So that's how you reviewed them.
Yeah, pretty much. And
that's custom. And that's what you've become accustomed to.
Well, I've also tried various other DACs, but again, they don't tend to have any inputs. But either way, I'm still kind of surprised Motorola is doing this, because are they selling a handset?
I'm not sure that they're selling it yet or not.
Not the phone, but I mean, they haven't announced, as far as I know, any earphones and headset capability.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, to be honest, I kind of vaguely see this as a phone as people buying and then returning.
Yes,
more than likely. They find that they can't plug headphones into it, because I can't even imagine it's the sort of thing most consumers,
unless they come with an adapter.
Even still, I can't imagine that most people
wanted carrying adapters around with them.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack is not something people are accustomed to having to ask if it's there.
Yeah,
it's like asking if if it has a color screen. You just
you don't. You
wouldn't
expect
think.
it.
Yeah. So I expect this to be like netbooks of old. People go, oh, that's great, take it home, realize, oh shit, what's this Linux thing? Oh no, I don't like it, and take it back.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen.
I've had to reinstall Linux Mint because I tried the new beta, and god damn does a reinstall every now and again help. Jeez, I did try mess around with it, so that might have been why it was slow.
Oh yeah, but it's fun to play with and break.
Oh, it is fun to play with.
But
and
yeah, but you're not like a middle-aged woman or a 15-year-old girl that's like, oh, I want to put stickers and sparkly things.
I got stickers on there, but not sparkly things. I looked at it and was like, a couple of stickers lying around, and that's why. Fuck it, why not? So
if it works for you,
yeah.
fine. But it's the they've taken away something so obvious that people are just going to assume is there, and I think people are suddenly going to go, what?
Yep. So whilst we're again still on the trend of Motorola, they seem to have nailed, well, not nailed, that this article seems a bit on that, but they've brought modular components to the Z line, and this goes by the name of Moto Mods, which sounds a bit meh. But basically, there's some magnets and a load of contact points on the back of the phone, which allows you to plug different bits and pieces in. Obviously, like little skins, cases, and the one that's really caught my attention. The two that caught my attention are I think it's a JBL Bluetooth speaker, not Bluetooth speaker. Sorry, just a speaker and a little projector. And to make everything better, you can detach them whilst the phone is on. So not like the G5 where you've got to turn the phone off, funny around with a little switch, slide it out, take the battery out, slide the battery into the new bit.
Yeah, which nobody's ever going to be doing. You're going to just stick one on and it'll just stay there.
Here's a quick question for you, Mark. When you had the G5 in for review, did you ever take the battery out?
No.
You not even for curiosity reasons?
No.
You just left it.
What was the point?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, but they didn't say. Frustratingly, given that Clove were, if you bought the phone, we're giving you away free the Bang & Olufsen module. It's like, okay, well, thanks for including that in the one you sent me to, because it's not like I do audio reviews or anything. So,
yeah.
But whatever, they chose not to include that module.
They probably thought you were going to keep hold of it. That's why.
I don't know. Generally, like one of the things that's often criticized about Bose is they do not give review units to anywhere credible. They just will not do it because they know they're basically going to get torn to shreds. If you think that your product is shit, you don't let serious people look at it because they're going to say that. If you have, especially, if you're making, like Bose, you're making your glorified bedside alarm clock things, and you want somebody to go, oh, this is awesome, this is great. You send it to the Times or the Independent. You send it to a newspaper where they have absolutely no experience whatsoever of anything audio, and compared with the £5 alarm clock they bought in Argos 20 years ago, it sounds great. So they think it's great.
Yep.
So yeah, I don't know whether it was intentional that Clove didn't send me it.
But they didn't.
Yeah. All I know is they didn't. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because maybe they didn't have a separate review model available, or maybe because LG has said don't give it to anyone.
Yep.
Because nobody's going to pay £150 for this.
So,
anyway, yes, to get back to the Motorola with the modules.
So these mods are just little things that you click on the back. I've not had chance to look too deeply into everything today. It's just been a case of find a nice article, skim through it as quick as I could, bang it in a sheet. And that was like the process for about half an hour. Oh, nice, skim, sheet. Oh, nice, skim, sheet. Like a little machine.
Yeah, we're really a bit rushed today.
Yeah, so it may sound a little bit loose. If you want to verify things we say, just look it up. You'll probably come across a good source. This is the next one that's not Motorola and not Lenovo, and I kind of am liking it. So there's a chap, I can't remember, Nick Lee. Most people know him for the Windows 95 on a Apple Watch. But he's done something slightly different. He has made a case that runs with the board. It's an Android development board, so it runs Android. And he can connect that to an iPhone. In this one, I think he uses a 6. In the demo, he uses a 6S. And with a little bit of coding and an app, he has Android on his iPhone. What use this has, I have no idea.
I can tell you what the use this has. This will earn him plenty of money because this will get plenty of watches and plenty of clicks. And
oh yeah,
however long it took him, he's obviously betting he will make enough profit off the clicks he's going to get on YouTube for it. That's the only benefit to this ever.
I will put it this way: if there was a video I saw, I can't remember which one it was. I wish I could, but I've obviously watched so much stuff on YouTube. It's deep in the history. The case is 3D printed, so you could do it at home. There's no reason why you can't. And it's just a standard Android development board. There are a few bits of code, which I think he may have briefly mentioned what the code does. He's not got any plans to put it on sale yet.
No, I don't think he ever will, because Apple will see the bejesus off him.
Yeah, but no, it's uses an ARM Cortex A53 processor and a 650, yes, you heard that right, 650 milliamp hour battery. So you're not going to get much time out. Well, saying that we'll get much time out of it, yeah, I imagine you get a fair amount because obviously
it's not powering the screen or anything.
It's not powering the screen. It's just powering.
Well, CPU.
The CPU and stuff. So no, it's geeky, and I kind of would like to try it out, but yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of geeky. It's kind of cool. It's the sort of thing you could wander around. If you were,
at a party, it'd be like your party trick.
Well, I was thinking more like sort of 4th, 5th year, computer science masters. Wandering around uni with Android running on your iPhone. This is cool. This would get you a master's dissertation. You could get out of this. But other than that, I mean,
I can't see a practical use for it.
No.
Unless you are unless you use iOS and you want to get into Android but don't really want to buy a new phone, you want to use an Android-only app. But I think most apps are on both platforms, so it would kind of seem pointless.
Yeah, and to be honest, given that like I reviewed the EE Rook the other week, I mean, you can buy a pretty decent Android phone for like 25 quid.
That was the case with the Vodafone Smart. Sorry, I've just got the dog just sat under the desk, just hitting me with his tail. Go away, you. So, yes, that was £25 as well. Though, unlike the Rook, it didn't have LTE.
Oh yeah, no, the Rook. I have to say, that stunning bargain at its current price.
And the fact it had LTE.
It's old, it's low spec, but the spec for the money is just nuts.
Yeah,
I mean, it literally is. It's like 20 quid plus a top up, so 30 quid. I mean, if you're a tourist coming to the UK for a couple of weeks and you want a cheap beater phone, go into EE, buy one of them, buy whatever data is you think you'll use while you get, and just donate it to the hotel when you leave, because oh my god, the thing is so damn cheap. It's just silly.
Take it home with you as a souvenir from your trip.
Yeah. It could be like the phone, I don't know, for the dog, like
you had that because I just said that the dog was assaulting
it's
the
like,
table.
like just take the phone to the side of the dog so you can ring it and track down where the dog is.
So if anyone that wants to obviously see the dog since he was at my leg, this isn't my dog. I'll just take the opportunity to clear. If anybody reads my reviews, they'll know that I quite often feature an image or two with this little fella. He's not mine, he's my neighbour's. Though he seems to think we have an open door policy of, if you're outside and the door is open, you may come in uninvited and you may come in and make yourself at home. So that's why he gets featured so much. So yes, you do like to annoy me, don't you? All right. Oh God. When you have ideas, it sounds so much better in your head.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone can see, but I've got a microphone. I use a lav mic and earphones, and all that cable just sits to the side. So you can imagine the mess we kind of got into. But let's get back on track again, since we seem to be doing a lot of tangenting.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably just because Motorola, it's like Motorola did a lot of stuff, none of it very interesting.
Yeah, they did a lot of stuff, which normally would take us a long time to cover.
Yeah,
but since it's Motorola, we don't really care. We'll get it done quickly. So Microsoft brought LinkedIn for $26 billion, which
this is kind of
to 18 billion. Now, I don't really use LinkedIn.
That's because you're not a grown-up.
Because I'm not a grown-up, no. So I'll let Mark explain this one.
Okay, well, I'm not really a grown-up either.
You're just a big kid.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I suppose I do have a LinkedIn account because I think everybody does. But yeah, if you're not familiar with what LinkedIn, it's the social media site for grown-ups. It's in large part about essentially sticking your CV and your work history up there. It's more professional orientated than Facebook is with you would upload pics of your late night boozing sessions onto Facebook, not to LinkedIn. It's grown up, it's professional, it's more serious, it's about professional collaborations, not necessarily job hunting, but finding people that they have various interest groups for various industries and whatnot, so you can find other people that are involved in the same industry of you. I've also seen various times that a company will essentially slap up we are looking for a retailer in blah country for product. So I mean, it is professional and serious stuff. Which
I'll
is
put it this way: if you want to register for EFA, you have to have a LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Which I'm not registering for EFA because it costs an arm and a leg, and I can't get time off from work anyway.
It's a more serious thing, and Microsoft is really good at serious, proper grown-up stuff.
Not so good with Windows 10 and how it's dispatched, but
but they do grown-up stuff. They do serious networking and admin stuff. Microsoft does Office. I mean, Office might not be the most exciting stuff in the world, but it's important. If Office suddenly vanished tomorrow, we'd all be screwed.
Not really. You just use something like LibreOffice. So.
Oh God, no! Even at the changeover, an awful lot of people would
fizzle out.
Yeah, they would suddenly go mental. I mean, You know, if it's particularly like Word, PowerPoint, Excel.
Death by PowerPoint.
Oh god, yeah. If you haven't hit uni yet, you will get and you will find PowerPoint, and you will begin to loathe PowerPoint.
I tell you what, when I was in secondary school, it was a case of death by PowerPoint. Like maths lessons, PowerPoint. Really bizarrely.
It gets worse, much worse.
Geography, PowerPoint. History, PowerPoint. Religious studies, PowerPoint. English, guess what? We didn't use a PowerPoint.
Yeah, but well, yeah.
And I couldn't understand why.
Probably because the teacher was older and they used no HP instead.
But no, so that's that one. Another one.
Yeah, well, I like this. I think that it's potentially a good
money maker.
Well, not so much a money maker, but I think it kind of ties in. I think if you start pushing LinkedIn into having better Skype integration.
Yeah, I suppose that would be a great feature. Although Facebook does have Facebook for Business, but as far as I'm aware, it's not taken off very well.
It's not. It's dependent on the bits, because Facebook for Business is a very different product. Facebook for Business is your company signs up to basically have an internal Facebook for Business account, and they can only kind of do internal company stuff. LinkedIn is about getting you a new job and, you know, interacting with other commercial interests.
Yep. So I think that's really it for LinkedIn. And so the last one, this one is one that Mark found and put in Slack. And obviously he was busy, so Craig wrote it up for us. So link tax.
Yeah, this I was kind of surprised because until I got an email about it, I had heard absolutely nothing about it. Like
no,
nothing.
I didn't until you put it in Slack.
Yeah, so I'm kind of surprised more than anything how this has gone on and how the
how nobody's known about it.
Yeah, how close this is getting to the deadline, and it's suddenly excuse me, what's this? And if you're thinking, well, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah, the EU.
Well, I did this at lunchtime when I saw this. I was like, what the fuck is Mark taking?
Yeah. Essentially, it's been called the link tax. The EU is trying to amend copyright regulations. And as it currently stands, this proposed change that they want to make would copyright URLs, which is, you know, the thing at the top of your browser that says
mobiletech.co.uk, which should be your homepage.
Yes, of course.
that way we get millions of views.
But essentially, that string of information would become copyrightable, which means nobody else can use that without you saying it's okay, or, you know, paying you money to say it's okay, which means you wouldn't be able to link to anything. Like, we wouldn't be able to, in the show notes, put links to these various stories we've put about, unless we've had permission from the source to say we're allowed to do that, because we're using their copyrighted data.
Minus this one, because in the notes for this one, it's our own link, so...
Yeah, so this story, but you know, if you have a look at it,
the vast majority, like 99%.
I mean, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links in the story that Craig wrote up. So that would be 7 breaches of copyright if this goes through.
And if you were on YouTube with 7 breaches of copyright, you'd have your account shut down.
Yeah, I mean, this is
absurd is the word I'm going to use.
Well, I was going to say it's kind of like a stunning example of like how incredibly out of touch politicians can be, and not just any old politicians, but EU politicians. You know, the one that nobody actually fucking elects. But this, I mean, with the debate going on about you know, should the UK leave the EU or not, this is a stunning great reason, I think, in favour of yes, we should leave, because dear God, these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They really don't. I mean, seriously, they want to make URLs copyrightable. Could you imagine what will happen to Google? You know,
Yeah, Google would definitely be
yeah,
no more. Yahoo would be gone. Bing would
all
be gone.
all
Everything
search
would be gone.
engines, all search engines, because unless Google has had permission, they would essentially be, you know, making fraudulent copyright. They would be fraudulently using other people's copyright data by putting a link to it. I mean, just
Yeah,
I mean, it's like bye bye internet, bye bye. It was nice
yeah.
while we knew you.
Everybody, go grab your encyclopedias. Encyclopedias out again.
Pretty much, but then judging by the way that they're going, you might find a lot of entries in dictionaries and encyclopedias where it will then reference another article, and it will say, you know, go see blah.
Yeah, that will
I mean, they're going to make that copyright as well.
So as you can tell, this makes Mark very angry.
This is just spectacularly absurd. The people that have proposed this are morons who have clearly no understanding of how the internet works at all. Seriously, people, vote to leave the EU, because, oh my god, these people are fucking mad.
I thought that was most people anyway. So, I think that's about it.
Kind of, yep, that's more or less.
I apologise for being very rough around the edges. Is the term I use. I know the last one I did was a little bit smoother, but I did have a little bit more time to do it.
Yeah, Chris kind of put the show notes together in about sort of like 30 minutes warning.
30 minutes whilst trying to watch the Microsoft section of the E3 and trying to text about 5 people, then trying to talk to 5 people at once. So it was a bit of a nightmare to do. So I didn't put a topic in. I know we said we were going to bring one from last week. We'll bring that next week when there's more people.
And
so
we're a little bit better organized. I think we're still kind of having vague teething issues over the merger, because I think not everyone's kind of totally sure as to what exactly everybody's doing. And
yeah,
we're all
a bit all over the shop. So
yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. So upcoming posts. These are the order you'll see them on the site. Most of it is one a day, but there's a couple. That's only for reviews. So we're trying to now aim for a review a day, which throughout the past 2 weeks have been, well, about 2 weeks after the merger, we've kind of successfully nailed. So we've got the Harmido VR headset. That's one by Craig. I've not read any of these. Obviously, I used to give a brief review before the went live, but we don't because of how we've had to change the site. On the back end, we've got Dom's article or editorial, whatever you want to call it, of why he avoids Snapdragon 15 devices. We've got the High Star Message Board USB hub. I'm not sure what that is. I've not looked it up. I can't remember who's writing that actually.
I think that's Craig. That's the thing with the glowy UV pen that I've seen the photos.
Oh yes, it would be, because when I was doing one of mine, yes, that's probably that.
When you're doing anything with the photos, you see it kind of appear.
Yeah. We've got the SJ Cam SJ4000 Wi-Fi. I should clarify and add on to the end of that. That's something I brought my own money and I ride around with, normally switched on, but if I don't always switch on if I'm just popping like 2 minutes down the road. We've got a wallpaper of the week again by Kurt. So that's something new to look forward to. This is a series that they did on Eurotech, and it just kind of made its way over to Mobile Tech Talk. So it's something different. You don't see it every day or every week, should I say. We've got Mark's Sony Xperia Z3 Plus review. Do you want to say anything on that?
Well, I have...
Without spoiling the review too much for us all.
Okay, God. See, seriously, there's like about a dozen phones on my desk right now. It's like...
Now, I'll clarify, Mark I was talking to Mark earlier, and I mentioned it last week, but
That's
Mark
like
wasn't
we
here
have.
last week.
Ooh, C3. And what's this one we have?
See if I can see myself.
Can you see the difference? Not really until you do that, and then
Then
you know.
you
It's the
know.
difference.
Then you know.
Yeah. So Z3 Plus and the Z5, and super short. It's really nice. It
How old
might
is
be.
that phone now?
Well, that's the thing. That's the first thing you think of is, oh, Z3. Oh, that must be
I know
so
that
old.
it's like
It's a
2.
year. This is a year old.
Did they not do the Z4?
6 months old. So no, it was basically this phone
Z1, Z2, Z3, then Z5.
this phone was released almost identical as the Z4 in Japan, but only in Japan. And then this was released everywhere else in the world, but this was called the Z3 Plus. There is no Z4 outside of Japan. Then we moved 6 months later onto the Z5.
Z5 lineup, which was the compact, the plus, some other
No,
ones.
which is the 5 and the compact, then the Z5 Premium, which came out a few months later.
That's the bit I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so essentially, dear God, Sony, I want to go and find whoever does your naming and punch them in the face, right? Because they need it.
Only punch them, not hit them in the face with a baseball bat or something.
But otherwise, this is, for a phone that you think of as going to be really old, is.
I'll put it this way. I was
nice.
when we were speaking earlier, Mark's were, I don't want to send it back.
Yeah, I really like it. It's really, really awesome. It's just, sorry, I have TeamSpeak running in the background, and I've forgotten all about. But yeah, super nice phone. Misleading name makes you think it's so much older than it is.
Yes.
And it's still fantastic. So you get what I think is basically almost flagship phone for Clover, doing it for £324.
Would you replace your Nexus 5 with that?
No.
I like that answer, that one. So
but the Nexus 5 is because it's Nexus, and partly because, I'm sorry, this is bigger than I want to carry around. When I asked Vodafone for this, I thought I was asking for the compact. It was the compact that I asked them to send, and they sent me this instead.
So it's not a total downer.
No, I mean, it's a great, lovely phone. I mean, it's really nice. I just wish it was a bit smaller. That's why I've not replaced the Nexus 5. But you know, it's really nice. The only thing that's really shit about it is, like the Nexus 4, it has glass back.
I did notice that.
If you put it on any surface that
it's going to slide around
perfectly flat, it will make a beeline for the edge.
Yeah. So that's that, and I've got the, I don't know how you say this, JN 3-watt RGB LED light bulb. Once again, something I picked up. I've seen a review, you'll know, but as I've mentioned before, I've moved the bedroom around, and there's a light switch at the door, which is over there, and there's a pull cord just in front of my desk.
Chris assures me that his webcam and bed rearrangement have absolutely nothing in common with each other, that his webcam now sits and points basically at his bed.
It's due to the fact this is too big to get in that corner.
No money-making endeavours on the side whatsoever.
So of course, yeah, I have a pull cord, which is just here. You can't really see it because I tied it up. So that's above my desk, and I'll put it this way: my floor is not always the tidiest. Wasn't a problem when the bed was here and the exit was just like off to the side, and the cord was above your head. But obviously, the bed's there, the lights there, it's in front of the window, and I needed a way of shutting it off. Long story short, I thought about Wi-Fi bulbs, mainly the Wemos, but they were too goddamn expensive. So I went to Amazon and paid $4.99. And it comes with a little remote that has some nice colour choices. But I was going to get and I put this in the review, I don't know, Mark's got a couple of them, remote sockets. So you plug them into the wall, plug whatever you want to into it. Now, I was all up for that idea. It meant I could have shut I could shut the entire desk off, and it would have come in a 2-pack, so I could have shut the TV off because that hookup is behind the bed. But the problem was they stuck out too much. Obviously, the drawers don't sit flush against the wall anyway, so to have them sticking out even more would be a bit of a pain. The bed does sit flush against the wall. How it stick out wouldn't be too much of a pain. But I'll put it this way, my bed is less than arm's length, which is why you always see the dog sitting here. Because he likes to be near you. So he always sits nearest to you. So I brought this just so I could go, I don't know if it's so up. Probably not. No, it's not showing up. So I can turn it on and off from the bed. $4.99, you can't go wrong. I'll put it that way. And
And I've been grabbing sort of the list of things because fair number of things came in kind of the last week or so. So don't expect all of these to come out this week because
we do a review a day, so that takes a long time to.
Yeah, this is still. So these came in.
Ooh, I like that case.
A little red and black. No, I kind of like the cable.
I like the case more.
But you know, some earphones. Can't remember who makes those. Sorry. I'll make a point of remembering your name in future. We had a pair of earphones. Such a nice fancy box.
That looks fancy. I mean, the camera's not doing it justice, but I can tell it's a wood.
No, it's card, but it's all
it's
like
card,
natural.
but it's got like a wood finish to it.
No. Well, no, it's like natural, unbleached.
Oh,
yeah,
they look more like
really
a bit of wood in effect.
And this is what came in them.
Ooh.
Some Bluetooth earphones.
I'd love to use more Bluetooth earphones.
And we have another pair of Bluetooth earphones from someone else. J and L, whoever they are. We have some of these. They have 4 drivers in them.
4 tiny, whiny drivers.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, 2 balanced armatures and 2 dynamics. So those should be good once I've actually made a point of listening to. We have this
phone audio. Now, why do I like the sound of that?
Okay, well, a brand new company, UK based.
Even better.
Yeah, so far they haven't actually launched any products, but this is going to be one of their launching products, and this is what they look like.
Oh.
So I quite like these. They have inbuilt. They do have a headset and mic, but the mic is built into the actual earphone, not the cable.
Which is a problem when you get into windier scenarios.
Yeah. But what is really cool is the normal button you have for press, play, pause, answer call.
Yeah, as you can tell, it's a digital scroll wheel of some kind.
Nope, it has 2 of them. Has one. See the circle thing?
Oh, one on each side.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're eating a sandwich, you can just go, eh.
Yeah, because it just looks like that little thing. It just looks like a design feature, but no, they're the buttons, and there's one on each side. So I kind of like that. I think it's kind of nice. I assume
that they're wired only.
Yes, wired only.
Wired only, no Bluetooth.
No, I mean it's user replaceable cable.
That was the next thing I was going to say. It's got a user replaceable cable.
Yeah, only goes into one side though, not the option, but still. So it's a user replaceable cable, and I think these are pretty nice. Not the cheapest, kind of a bit too bassy as well, but hey, that's the market they're going for.
And just to clarify, that's a just standard aux cord. I know you did a standard aux cord. So you break it, you get a new. You go to Poundland and pick a new cord up.
Pretty much. Where I mean, it is the it does have the mic channel in it. So
yes.
If you want that functionality, well, you need to get the appropriate cable. So you maybe have to spend £2 rather than 1.
Yeah.
But they are
that's the thing.
£200. So
£200.
Yeah, for the headphones.
Okay, not going to be buying that anytime soon. I tell you, the headphones.
Another one just in today. Yeah, this just came in today. So it looks at it's still like in the plastic thing that it came in. Gigantic box, and I have yet to open them. But these are the flagship IEMs from Mini Audio. So trying to think, how many drivers do they have in them again?
More than you care.
Uh,
More than you care to remember.
to be honest, it's not like it really matters. I mean, more does not necessarily mean better.
Best. Just to
But
clarify,
anyway, but those should be kind of ass-kickingly good.
just to clarify on the obviously back on the headphones that you said that were £200.
Sure.
They're obviously just a standard aux cord compared to, I cannot remember the name, save my life, but I know you used them on a couple of podcasts, and it had the headset or headphones. It had like a sticky out male connector, and I can't. They were like 20 quid, 23 quid all in all.
The Sonic.
I think they were them. You said they looked cheap, but you said they sounded very good.
Oh no, I know the ones you mean. I forget the name. The Superlux.
Yes, they're the ones. And obviously that had a male connector sticking out. That is still technically a usually replaceable cable. You just order a 3.5mm extension cable.
Yeah, I mean, these kind of cables, frankly, I mean, like the one that comes with this, is slightly fancy because it has a little inline volume control, but it's just, a variable resistor. You don't need to use that. You could just use the volume control on your device. And, if you really need another cable, hit eBay, you can order one from Hong Kong for like £1 or something.
Or a couple of pennies. It's
Yeah,
Hong Kong.
I mean, cables are cables.
I know it's called, it's easy to find an extension cable, but they're there.
Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult. Although one thing, just while I remember to say about the Mi Audio Pinnacles that I've gotten in, because the chap I've been chatting to over at Mi Audio is very, very nice. He's very graciously agreed to send Dom a pair of the X7 Pluses, which, if you remember,
You did review. I remember seeing it in the in Trello.
Did, yes. I reviewed a handful of weeks ago, and I did kind of vaguely comment that in the functionality of them, they have liquipel coating.
Something like that.
Yeah, so that they are sweat resistant, rain resistant, water resistant.
The lot resistant, basically.
Pretty much. And in my conversations with the gentleman I communicate with there, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, they're absolutely great. Oh, you could have run them under the tap or something if you wanted," because he apparently uses them in the shower. Like, that's how water resistant they are. And
my next question is, what phone does he possess?
Well, they're Bluetooth, so the phone doesn't actually need to be inside the shower.
Yeah, you can just have it wrapped like I do. I have it wrapped to the towel and then just stick that in the window. Yeah. And it just sound just bounces around the window frame.
Yeah. So in that conversation, I kind of expressed, well, you run the company, so if you break your set, you can get another pair fairly easily. I can't so much. And he was like, "Oh no, you're really good. Should give this a try." So I kind of persuaded him to send us another pair, but this time to go to Dom, who is our resident do shit on YouTube person.
Besides camera samples,
yeah,
like actual proper videos.
Yes, so expect a proper video is going to be coming some point whenever Dom makes it happen. And that I'm kind of vaguely hoping to be fun, because if nothing else, I'm going to make Dom go and stand out in the rain for half an hour.
Oh, I should have had them today. I would have been fine. I mean, just with contacts where I live and go to college, it's just pissed it down all day. Like, non-stop, just pissed it down, which is not too much of a problem when normally, but when you have the main motorway closed and they're redirecting traffic through the town, it does become a bit of a problem, because you're sitting there longer. Although I do filter, and I did filter a hell of a lot, it's just sitting there getting absolutely soaked, which is just crap. I didn't get soaked this time because I changed my waterproof trousers.
Look, can I just also point out, you really should not be using earphones when you're riding a motorbike, because that's like having a big sign on your back that says organ donor, organ donor. Like,
I could have just like, well, not obviously at the bite, but I could have walked and I would have got soaked. It would have put them to the test, obviously.
That's fine, but you're much less likely to die at walking speeds.
Oh, I'd never ride with 2 earphones in. If I had like a sat nav running, then I have another set of these, an old set that I kind of blew one of the buds up, so I just went snip. So I can just.
Yeah, I'm sure there are lots of people who do these things. I know there are a great many people that actually, underneath like proper motorcycle helmets, have earphones in, and I think they're just all asking to be killed in horrible, painful ways.
Yeah, some use the kits that you can buy have like on ear. What's what I want to look for? Do you know like really cheap headphones you get from Poundland that just have like a fabric coating over a bit of plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just basically them. They just sit against your ear in your helmet, but because they're not locking any sound out, they're just adding. People just have like their Bluetooth radio.
Well, I guess then I'm either going to say you're either listening to it so quietly, what's the point?
Yeah,
you're blasting it out, so you're basically just like destroying your hearing.
You're filling your helmet with sound and destroying your ears.
Yeah, it's like if you really, really, really like want to listen to music whilst you're commuting, like use a bus. Like seriously, right? Get some great, sound isolating earphones. On a bus, you can sit there, you can do whatever you want. You can sit and read a book as well while you're at it if you want, and nobody's going to die.
Yeah, so that is it. We seem to have spent just as long talking about what we've got than we did on the news.
It's probably because we care more about that. It's like, oh, look, shiny toys.
Yeah. So something I did that I forgot to mention. Oh, that's better. So I'm planning on writing, and I had this idea in bed. Just as I got into bed, I had this idea. The state of MP3 players today. Obviously, I don't use an MP3 player. I've not used one in years. I put this in Slack. Mark got back to me. Obviously, everybody expects Mark to use a MP3 player with a nice high-quality DAC in it. So no surprise when he said...
My two of choice.
Yep. So no surprise when Mark said he used one.
Yeah,
I was quite surprised.
Can I just clarify, whilst we all may know what you mean by saying an MP3 player, really the proper name is a DAP or a digital audio player.
To most people, if you say that, they're going to get so confused.
Yeah, but it's technically it's more correct. It's like calling your vacuum cleaner a Hoover. Everybody will know what you mean if you call it an MP3 player, but it doesn't necessarily make it technically correct.
No.
So because obviously a lot of the digital audio that's used these days isn't MP3. If you buy any shite from iTunes, it's going to be in AAC.
So you can use the iTunes tool to instantly convert it to MP3.
Will it?
Yes, there is a tool there. You can just right-click, convert to MP3.
Are you sure?
There was many versions ago.
Yeah, I think that you're maybe confusing the version where if you had something as a high bitrate ALEC file, you could convert things down to a lower bitrate, but because all Apple products have basically always supported AAC.
Yep.
That might be what's confusing you.
More than likely.
Essentially, they just lower the bit rate, just like, because they assume nobody cares. It's like stupid idiots.
So try to get back to the point at hand.
Yeah, there are lots of audio formats out there. MP3 is an important one. AAC is an important one. FLAC is
for all your audio nerds.
Yeah, if you want lossless, FLAC is probably the one that you're using.
Yep. So obviously, talking in Slack, there's about 11 of us. You're not really going to get a wide view. So I have set up a Google form. Oh, Jesus Christ. And it will be linked in the description. If you can just answer I think there's 3 questions, and I did put the option for you to receive an email with a link when it goes live. That would help just to give me a wider idea. But
yeah, because I mean, I think that of our little merry band, I think I'm the only person that actually uses some real separate actual player. Yet my kind of benchmark for sort of seeing what other people do, like my sister, she has her normal phone, which is a Z5 compact, and she has her old phone, which I can't remember
what it is,
what it was. No, I think she's still using the Sensation XE, and she uses that solely as her music player. That's what she uses it for. That's all it's used for, and she does that because she doesn't want to handle the battery in her normal phone.
Yeah. Oh, and if you look at the bed, you can just see the fancy colours changing from the light. No, that's
yeah.
Yeah. So
and again, Chris did not buy that light to coincide with his webcam and bed moving. For he does not at any point think he's in Amsterdam with the red lights at all. No.
Hang on.
No. Just need we just need an open for business sign in the window, and we.
Oh, now you give me ideas, Mark. So that was a long-ish episode 27. I have been Chris. That has been Mark. So if you want to follow us around the web, follow the website at www.mobiletechtalk.co.uk. No surprise there. Twitter, we are at MTTFeed because somebody stole. No, they didn't steal it. They just have the handle and don't use it.
They got it first, yeah. I mean, to be fair, they got there first, but it's like it wouldn't be so bad if they bloody used
this bloody damn thing. Yeah, they don't.
Like,
so that's
actually, it occurs to me I think it was DHL, because I was bitching at them. Don't like DHL. Really don't like them.
If you're a company and you want to send a market product, please don't use DHL. Please use Royal Mail, because his Royal Mail sorting office is just downstairs from him and down the road about 2 minutes.
Post office, not sorting office. But yeah, that's so much more handy. Or just use DPD because they're awesome. But anyway, trying to vent my frustrations, and try and tweet, in DHL's direction. You would think their handle might be at DHL.
Or DHL support, or something with DHL.
Oh yeah, well it has DHL in it, but you would just think it should be at DHL, but no, it's some random weird dude, and it's like, really, like, how does Twitter let that happen?
Yeah, so we're at MTT Feed.
Yeah, so we're not the only company that's been screwed by some random weirdo.
No, even the big ones. Instagram is Mobile Tech Talk. We've managed to get that one. Facebook, Mobile Tech Talk UK. YouTube and Google Plus. Just search for Mobile Tech Talk, because YouTube not a long time ago changed the policies, and we're not big enough for custom URLs yet. And last of all, Patreon. If you give us money, we make some better shit for you. I got that right this time. So until next week, doodles. And I can't. There it is.